what is task-based learning? So task-based learning focuses on the use of authentic English and asking students to do meaningful tasks in English. And I want to take you through the stages of a task-based lesson today. Okay, so the first stage is the pre-task, which is getting the students interested and making them think about the kind of English they need to use. Then there's the task preparation, which is where they write down details they're going to use, maybe some sentences, maybe some ideas they're going to come up with. Then there's the task realization, or the task itself, when they're speaking freely and using any of their English to communicate. And finally is the task reflection, which is where the students cement their learning or go through their errors or think of ways they can improve. And let's look at this and how this looks in a lesson or a sequence of lessons. Okay, so a few lessons before, what you might do is teach or revise the key grammar, vocabulary and functions they're going to use in the task. You might study a model dialogue where the students see how a conversation like this might typically go. You could possibly do a pre-task writing homework so they can come to the class ready to speak. Then, in the lesson itself. First of all, you need to activate the learner's interest, get them ready to talk about this topic. You need to set up the scenario, get them to understand why they're communicating today. Then you need to explain the task and what they're going to be doing. Then we come to the task itself. You need to think about how you're going to control the task, how you're going to get the students to stand and do and speak the way you want them to. Then you need to think, does this require micro stages? Do the students need to think and write something down before they speak? Then you as the teacher need to monitor the task, standing outside so that they can talk to each other, but you can listen in and write down any key errors or mistakes they're making. Then, after the task, you need to reflect on it. This would include feedback to the class where you tell them how they did. You might talk about the errors they made, improvements they could make, and what was good about what they did. And then you will have a report task. Could your students write something for homework to cement their learning? And then another really important stage is teacher reflection. If your students struggle with this task, why did they struggle? Do you need to revise something in class? Or do you need to set them a controlled practice homework so that they can improve their accuracy?